For the fight fans joining us and the millions watching around the world.
Out of the Red Korner.
Yes, everyone, welcome to In the Red Korner podcast. Hope everyone's well and having a good bank holiday. Again, with me tonight, I've got Mr. Andrew Bakewell, the Bkfc UK boss. So I'll bring him in. Here he is.
How you doing, mate?
How are you doing? I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Yeah, I'm all right, thanks.
Good man. How are things? Has the dust finally settled after Bkfc 40 now then?
Yeah, pretty much. It's been pretty chaotic last week just because obviously it was just a great event. So there's just been a lot of just people getting in touch about stuff and all positive stuff though. Everything's looking like it's moving forward really well.
Yeah, it was a class event, wasn't it? It was really good. The venue and everything, it was brilliant.
Yeah, it was great, mate. Yeah.
It was cold, but it was good.
Cold during the day when we were setting it up because I was absolutely freezing.
Yeah, like I say, the show was fantastic. Ian Freeman doing the MCing and the ring announcing. It was great to have him on board. Yeah,
Ian's a great guy. We've worked with him quite a few times over the years on a few different, like the previous company I used to own. He always comes in and does a great job. He's a legit recognisable face in combat sports in the UK. He was like the pioneer of the British UFC fighters, wasn't he? It was when I first got into MMA years ago. He was like, this was before, but we used to train with Mike Bisping over in the little sports hall in Clitheroe, and we used to go watching Ian Freeman fight.
Yeah, it's really, I've wanted to meet him for a long time. I've read his book and things like that, so it was great to finally meet him after all these years of wanting to.
Yeah, he's a nice guy. It's crazy. I was just going on to be he's a paramedic now, isn't he?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's funny how the things happen in life, isn't it? The direction it takes you.
Yeah, it's quite a career change, isn't it?
Yeah, unfortunately, the PA system kind of went down towards the end of the show, but I think that made it a whole lot more intense for the walkouts.
Yeah, it was the sound system completely blew. So obviously there's not a lot you can do about it. It's a good job it happened then rather than at the beginning.
Yeah, too right.
I couldn't tell you what it was down to be honest with you. All we knew, we thought the speaker system had broken. Not speaker system, we thought the microphones had backed in originally. Then we got the replacements in, and it turns out the entire speaker system was gone. So I don't know. We've got to speak to the sound engineers and work out what the problem was.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll all come to light and you'll get it sorted for the next one. But
not a lot we can kind of do about stuff like that, really.
Yeah, it was, like I said, amazing show, amazing fights. I mean, well done to you for the fights that you managed to put on and put together. The matchmaking was brilliant.
Yeah, it was like 50-50 in the first half. Like, to be fair, there was quite a few lads brought in, like in the last 2 weeks, due to pullouts and stuff. And despite with a few of them, to be honest with you, because obviously we want to see like real guys who really want it. And when you see guys quit a bit easily, it's frustrating, especially when people get a chance to fight at this sort of level. And that platform, it's a massive opportunity in life. If you're taking yourself seriously in combat sports, there's probably no better platform to be on, to like as a novice fighter, to get a chance on that platform. Look what happened to Danny. Danny came in at he was quite an unknown fighter, wasn't he? His the stuff he did with Bkfc on that YouTube channel, but he's like, look where he's got to.
Yeah,
grab the opportunity and show like you've got a massive heart and you want it hard enough. There's always going to be opportunities for lads.
That's it. I think, you've hit the nail on the head there. I mean, there's fighters that have got that dog inside of them, haven't they? And they can really dig deep and go that extra mile. The likes of Lee Brown. Lee Brown's got it. Luke Nevin showed it.
Like Franco Tenaglia, mate. I mean, he was getting beat pretty much every round.
Yeah.
That was a crazy fight. Franco's a beast. He's a real good guy as well. And they have exactly him and Luke Nevin, mate. Quality guys. They'll forever have a part fighting like that. It was even for Luke, he lost the fight, but I mean, there's no shame in losing a fight like that. It's just
No.
realistically, I mean, he would been up on the rounds. He could have took his foot off the gas a bit and just sat on the back foot, but he didn't. He just kept carried on. Must have been enjoying being in the fight. It was. They were a great fight. That's what people are paying to see, though. And that's what you need to have in you if you're getting into the sport, especially at this level. And if you don't, I think you're going to get found out pretty quickly.
Yeah, I think a couple of the lads in the earlier fights got found out pretty quick and maybe realised it wasn't for them. But, fair play to them for stepping through the steel into the ring.
It's not a pleasant experience, really, getting it in face with no glove on. But again,
yeah, a couple of other standout performances for me as well. Johnny Graham.
Johnny was class, mate. It was really impressive debut performance. That it reminded me kind of James Lilly when he was fighting Tyler Goodjohn, just the way he got around his opponent.
Yeah, he was
turning him sharp. He was light on his feet. His angles were good. His movement was great. Just good first debut performance. I think we're going to fights lined up for Johnny going forward. I've just been
got caught with a heavy shot as well and managed to keep his bearings as well.
He very composed debut performance, considering like we only sort of brought him in. Like a lot of the undercard got moved. It was originally Liverpool that show, so when we moved it to Leeds, a lot of the undercard had to be changed. So that was spoke to a few lads in Leeds saying who they could recommend to come on. And Johnny was one of them guys, so we spoke to him, and he'd been out for a bit with a shoulder injury. Then he said, like, look, I reckon I can be ready in time. I think he's got the bit between his teeth again as well now. He seems really fired up to sort of make a go at it.
Yeah, I had him on the podcast through the week. I think he only done like a 3.5 week camp as well.
Yeah, so long at all, mate. No,
I'd love to see him on a full camp as well. I think that would be brilliant.
I think I think there's going to be some big fights for him going forward, mate. It's very great performance.
Yeah, Rico Franco also. I mean, he puts on a good show every time, doesn't he?
Rico looks like as impressive as he's ever looked. To be honest with you, I think Rico just needed a bit of time he was out for a long time with like a real bad illness, wasn't he? He just needed, and he was thrown straight back into the deep end in like tough fights when he was coming back for his other company. It just been trying to sort of rebuild him up a bit, just give him a bit of time to get the rounds behind him, and there's going to be some massive fights for Rico coming up now.
Yeah, definitely. Probably head off to America, I would say, would he, at some point soon?
Yeah, it's been mentioned. Yeah, I don't think that's out of the question for him at all. He's a known guy, and I think he's easily one of the top guys in the country.
Yeah,
but I think he'll be a force to be reckoned with again, Rico.
Definitely. Someone else who put on another boxing masterclass as well was Tom Scott. I thought he had a great fight. Yeah,
Tom's that was like a real honest performance of him. His debut for Bkfc, I think he had a lot going on behind the scenes. Not taking anything away from John Ferguson. John's an absolute beast. He's just Tom Scott's a very capable fighter, and if he gets full camp behind him and performs to the best of his ability, I think he'll give anyone a run for his money in this game.
Yeah, definitely, 100%. All the Polish fighters that came over as well, man, they are some tough bunch, aren't they?
Yeah, mate, you know what you're going to get with a lot of these Polish lads, mate. You'd have to shoot them to get them out of there. It's just great. You know you're going to get, you know what they're made of. They're just going to come for a fight every single time.
And the support that they brought as well, the support was brilliant.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, they brought a lot of fans over. A lot of people came following them. Yeah, it's good to bring over some of the Polish lads. I mean, they've been like Grom did a show over in Poland. It's great watching it because there's no quitting a lot of these guys. I've seen some crazy fights over there. I went over watching one of them. If it's a draw after 4 rounds, it's they put a 5th round on it. It's till somebody wins basically. So I think Lucas Drobit went like 22 minutes or something stupid in the 5th round. Yeah. The one I was there watching, the 5th round was like 13 minutes or something. That's a long round that after 14 rounds.
And speaking of Gromda there, so obviously Rob Cunningham, he was over at Gromda, also put on a much improved performance, I think.
It was massively improved. Yeah, I was quite impressed with it, to be honest with you. You can see he's putting all the work in the background. He's trying to build his profile. He's training with the right people. It was a massive improvement, though. He was quite static. He was originally supposed to be fighting a lad who trained with me. and it was not what we were kind of expecting him to be at all. He put a lot more pressure on his opponent. He worked on tying people up a lot better in the clinch. Just general performance, work rate, it's trimmed down a lot as well, so he's a lot more mobile now.
Yeah, brilliant performance from him.
Big lump still, but
another debutant was Aaron Blakey. I thought he was class. I know it was only short.
Great, yeah. Again, it's the right sort of style for the sport. He just put a lot of pressure on his opponent. Again, it pays off massively. I think there's going to be good things that come from him as well, to be honest with you. I think we're lining him up to come over to the Newcastle card. Just try and keep him busy whilst it's local to his sort of where he lives.
Yeah, I think he's got the bit between his teeth. I think after his first taste of...
I like the guys who are just sort of just gripping an opportunity with both hands. So.
Yeah. And of course, the main event, Holmes v Christie, that was absolutely one of the best fights I've ever seen, I think.
It was unreal, mate, yeah. Sometimes, like, fights sort of hyped up like that, they can be a bit of a letdown sometimes, but that was unreal, like on both parts. I mean, Danny was down on the rounds when he just had a massive cut above his eye.
Yeah.
I think they knew he was going to get stopped at like pretty soon if he didn't do something. And just went out and just pulled off a incredible way to finish a fight.
Yeah. I mean, Holmes, he looked really, really impressive as well. I mean, there's a reason he's the most decorated fighter in bare knuckle, really, isn't there? You know, he's incredible movement.
I've always been impressed with Holmes. He's just and just the way he goes about business as well. Is like you can work with a more professional guy, and he's just he's doing all the right things, training. His movement's great. I like his style. He's very smart. His fighting IQ's great.
Yeah.
With Danny, Danny's just a war horse, isn't he?
He is. Yeah.
It's great. It's great to see them sort of styles go up against each other as well.
Styles make fights, don't they?
Especially in this sport. I mean, it's like that's a bit similar to Mike Perry, and he's like not the most technical fighter, but he hits hard, and he's just going to put it on you from the moment it comes out of the stocks.
Yeah.
And if you catch it, you won't sleep, aren't you?
100%. Talking about Mike Perry there, last night's show over in America, Bkfc 41. What a show. Unbelievable.
Yeah, it's unreal, but it's like I think that's going to be like a pinnacle point of like bare knuckle boxing history. It's just people are going to look back and like that. Just the people they had fighting on the card. People like Conor McGregor in the ring after it. It's just bringing so many eyes to the sport. It's just a massive achievement from David and his team over in America to pull that off.
Yeah. I mean, McGregor says he's walking around with the belt around his shoulder saying that he's in this game. I'd love to see him in there.
I wouldn't be surprised if he does actually make like a fight at some point. I don't know how long he's going to last in MMA now, whether he's even going to be able to kind of compete at the level he has done. Just his lifestyle's changed massively, hasn't it? He's not like he's fully committed to fight camps these days. He's like he's multi-billionaire, isn't he?
Yeah. I mean, I think that's the thing as well, though. I think he's kind of lost interest in MMA, and just to stand and be able to trade punches with someone bare knuckle, I think that could be something that could excite him.
I think it could be a new challenge for him. I think he'll see it as like something he can get into, and getting somebody like that on board at this stage, man, just take the entire sport to another level.
Absolutely.
The amount of eyes that have seen the event last night just on the back of him getting in the ring after it would be crazy. Yeah,
unbelievable. I mean, it's the fastest growing sport in the world at the moment. It's growing rapidly over here as well.
Yeah. I think what it needs over here now is a real big name to come over and just keep building it. It's still a relatively like niche market. If you look compared to like pro boxing, UFC, and stuff like that, it's nowhere near the level of them yet. But in 10 years' time, it's going to be competing with them easily.
I think so. I think it's going to be three choices, isn't it? It's going to be boxing, MMA, or bare knuckle.
It is, mate.
They're going to be the three choices.
It's an exciting new sport for people to get behind. It's new. People are bored with glove boxing, mate. Pro boxing is just the most fixed sport on planet Earth, and all the top boys in the division just duck each other. Like the heavyweight division is just embarrassing. Like none of them boys. Just the only fights people want to see is like Wilder v Joshua or Fury versus Joshua. Like there's very few fights you're really interested, and they just won't fight each other.
Yeah, I think there's too many authorities and commissions involved to kind of.
Everyone gets very greedy, mate, when the sort of figures are going about. And you just,
Yeah.
I'm guessing they've got a lot of people in their ear just causing problems.
Yeah. Chad Mendes and Eddie Alvarez last night as well. That was a great fight. I was surprised. I was surprised Alvarez took the win. To be honest, I thought Mendes would be able to do it, but
yeah,
very close.
Yeah. I can't argue with that. To be honest with you, when I was watching, I thought Mendes had sort of edged it, but you can sort of argue the fact volume of punches and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Mendes, I was surprised he retired because he looked dangerous. I think that sport suits him.
Yeah.
I don't think there'd be a lot of people in that division that deal with Mendes the way the Alvarez did. The Alvarez is no idiot, is he?
No, definitely not. I think Mendes is retired as well now by the sound of things.
It's a shame to see that, to be honest with you. I thought he was going to make a bit of a push with a bare knuckle thing, but I think Eddie Alvarez will also be in there for a bit. There's some interesting fights to make for him.
Yeah, Alvarez is class as well. The last 10 seconds of that fight with 2 knockdowns, knocking each other down.
Yeah,
crazy. Yeah, brilliant. So the next show for BKFC, we've got Newcastle coming up, haven't we? 1st of July.
Yeah.
The Walker Dome.
Yeah, mate, yeah, back at the same place. Production levels have gone up from the last time massively. So it's a lot improved in there. So the first time round in there was the first show we'd done. The production team had a few issues with just a few little teething problems, that's all, which got figured out for the next event, and it's going to be even better up there next time. Newcastle's a great show. I like going up there. The guys up there are absolutely brilliant. Mick Twell and Andy Davis and all that, but them boys help us out as much as we need for anything we've got going on up there. Just a good crowd as well. It's a big, I don't know, it's just always a really good atmosphere in there.
Yeah, fighting town, really, isn't it? It's kind of embraced the sport of bare knuckle.
Yeah, I think that was the best atmosphere we'd had up there, though, from all the events.
Yeah, definitely. I think I was at that Newcastle show. It was brilliant. Crowd singing along and everything, getting involved, and
yeah,
there wasn't any bother at that one, I don't think, either. So
no, it's rare that you do. To be honest with you, it's a shame when you get little pockets of idiots causing trouble at the end. But I mean, you get that in all. It's just part of all combat sports, unfortunately.
Yeah. Drinking testosterone flying around everywhere.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and just everyone's there to watch the main event. By the time that comes on, everyone's had a skinful and just get carried away with themselves.
I know you're constantly working on bringing new talent in. Is there anyone that you can kind of announce yet at all, or are you just still working on things?
I can't announce anything, but I think we've got some pretty big names coming up for kickboxing, Thai boxing. I know David's got some things lined up with some ex-UFC lads coming over. Some real big names. It's crazy how fast it's going. Like my phone's non-stop with lads trying to get involved with it now. Like loads of ex-pro boxers, good level MMA fighters, top level like guys from Glory Kickboxing, won championships. Proper household names, which is going to be great. Which is what I love about the sport. Again, it's just you've got a great clash of styles of fighting. All 100% level playing field. It's like Costume MMA and boxing, it. With the rule setting and the ring route they use. So it's good. Gives everyone a bit of an even playing field to see how it pans out.
Yeah, the team you have behind you as well. I mean, credit to them because they make the shows run.
Yeah, mate, it's bad.
I'm
not like me doing everything myself, mate. It's like Mark, Wiggy, Darren. Everybody has to roll within the company. Like Mark works his ass off. Like he gets all the unglamorous stuff. Like he doesn't like to do this sort of spotlight with anything. But he's one of the hardest working guys I've ever met, Mark, and he's a very switched on guy.
Yeah, Hannah as well, who's the showrunner.
Yeah, Hannah's
brilliant.
She works her ass off every single event. It's great having her about. She's really good at her job. We've worked with a few runners over the years, and no one's come close to doing a job like Hannah has. Yeah,
she's class. She's one funny woman as well, isn't she?
Yeah, she's
absolute barn pot. Listen, Andy, I won't take much more of your time on this Sunday night, and I really appreciate you coming on, mate. Thank you very much for your time.
Yeah, no problem. Appreciate you having me on, mate.
Oh, you're welcome. Anytime. You're more than welcome anytime. tickets aren't on sale for Newcastle yet, but they'll be going on sale hopefully soon.
The event will get announced next week. We've got hopefully catch up with David in the next couple of days and see where we're up to. I think we just tied up the last few loose ends with the main and co-main event, and it should be all boxed off by Wednesday, hopefully.
Excellent. Well, send us through that list when you get it.
Some more information.
Nice one, mate. Thanks very much. Have a good evening, pal. Thanks for coming on.
Mate. Thanks for your time, pal.
Speak to you later. Cheers. There he is, the big boss man himself, Andy Bakewell, doing a great job, putting on some great fights, matching them, perfectly. Some absolute wars and lots more to come as well. Looking forward to them. Still, the Newcastle fight, the Leeds show was brilliant. Last night's show was unbelievable. If we can get that kind of stuff over here, the sport's just going to go skyrocket. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to see where the sport goes over the next few years. It can only go up, definitely. Thank you to all the new subscribers. I'm a kick in the pants away, a midge's dick away from 1,000 subscribers. So if you haven't already, then please go and subscribe to the channel. Get to that magic 1,000 and start making some money, which would be nice. Be able to bring you some better content, hopefully. And do a bit more. Really appreciate everyone tuning in. Thank you very much. And we'll speak to you soon. I'll announce next week. I think I've got James Lilly on tomorrow. It depends if he's feeling all right. And a couple more next week as well. So looking forward to that. Thanks very much, everyone. Speak to you later.
For the fight fans joining us and the millions watching around the world.
Out of the red corner.
I've done it again, didn't I? Every time. Thanks to everyone that jumped in the chat. John, Big Rob Cunningham there as well. D Lyons, Zeus comments. Appreciate you jumping in the chat. Thank you. Stay tuned, people, for the next one through the week. Keep your eyes out. Have a look on Instagram and Facebook to see who's getting announced. That'll be on the show. Thanks very much. Corner Podcast would like to thank our show sponsors, the Gentry Barbers and Tattoo Lounge, Funky Gums Mouthguards, Vandella Phone Repairs, and The One Who Follows.